Everything, this is a report, it's considered are you filming?
I am filming you. Yeah. I'll get your autograph next. I'll get your autograph next.
All right, basically, I was a builder for a long time. All right, so what I do is I write these basically in the same language that I do when I was a builder. It's a punch list type report. It's final for the builder, so everything's immediate repair. Everything I put in here needs to be corrected. This isn't maintenance suggestions, or not a lot of flowery language, there's not a lot of things. This is designed specifically for the builder to get the things finished and work done right. Does that make sense?
Right.
All right. The garage door weather stripping needs to be improved. When you turn the lights out, if you see any light around the garage door, that's a gap that needs to be sealed. So they can make some adjustments that needs to be done.
Okay.
All of the exterior wall mounted fixtures, the lights, the disconnect for the condenser, all of those need to be sealed around. Bugs and water, this is Florida. Y'all been here, I mean, it's no different than South America. Everything's trying to get into the house. Bugs and water. So what you want to do is prevent that. It's an easy fix. They just need to put sealant around those fixtures. There's a lot of nail pops starting up in the home already, and I'm assuming it's because they probably let the house get a little warm over a couple of weeks.
And they don't know what nail pops are.
Nail pops are when it's just show you. Give me this back. These. What happens when the fasteners don't expand and contract at the same rate as the drywall. So you'll get where the finish actually chips off. See those spots?
Oh, I do, yeah.
Those are fasteners. So when the fastener doesn't expand when the drywall and the finish does it, they need to fix those. Right. That shouldn't happen for about 4 or 5 years, really. So it's a little premature. Another thing.
Up.
Well, this is a good one, but most of the other doors. There's 5 doors so far. They aren't closing all the way. They need an adjustment at the mortise plate, the strike plate. So that's an easy fix. There's a couple of the windows. See this loose piece of trim? That should be secured, and that side's missing. So I put it. It's a recurring issue. So you need to check all of these window handles, make sure that this trim is on there, because the edge right here is really sharp. So the kid, especially if you've got a child or someone in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can cut himself. Yep.
Same thing in the cut shelving. This seems like a minuscule thing. This cut shelving is actually manually cut, so it has sharp edges.
Yeah.
Not all of the protective caps were put on. And what that does is that'll catch your clothes or catch your finger. There's the sharp little metal edges. So they have replacement caps. They're super cheap. They came free with it, but they should be able to fix that easy too.
Okay.
Window handles, extremely. Couple places where there's extraneous paint on the doors. I hit that. Generally, I don't go as in depth into cosmetics, like what y'all will be doing that with the builder. But there were some anomalies, and I noted those. Laundry doors. That gap is excessive, and it's uneven from the top to the bottom, so they just need to adjust those doors and close that gap in.
Oh, I see, yeah.
It'll be an eyesore when you're sitting in this is a common area of the house, the most highly trafficked areas.
So how do they?
I'm anal about symmetrics. So that just needs, you got a smaller gap at the top to the bottom. Just have them adjust that. All right. And once again, this is a cosmetic thing, but it needs to be done as part of the final finish. All this excess paint on the window frames, all that should be removed. It should be perfectly clean. It's a new finish standard you're looking for. Nail pops, adjustments. In the primary bathroom, the toilet paper bar is a little bit loose. That needs to be secured.
Okay.
You won't notice it's a problem,
Until-
obviously, until you need it.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, we'll
Goes without saying.
there's some wet space sealant and caulk and grout that just needs to be refreshed, and that's typical at this stage. It's one of the final things it'll do, because a lot of that was applied before the house became climate controlled. So once it starts to shrink down, that'll separate and crack. Just to have that refreshed. That's a 5-year maintenance thing. You don't want to be doing it the first week you move into a brand new house.
And that is where?
In the bathrooms, in the wet spaces.
Okay.
Garage door openers missing the bulb, so that light does not come on when the door's operating.
Okay.
This receptacle right here is loose and needs to be secured. It's not safe.
Yep.
Underneath the sink, the dishwasher drain is looped like this. It needs to be a high loop coming from the dishwasher to the drain, so the no waste from the garbage disposal back washes into your dishwasher. That's an easy fix. And
Yes, very important.
there's some trim piece. There are trim pieces made. You can see if you look. The dishwasher doesn't fit ever absolutely right in these, but they've got little filler strips so that you don't have to look at the. If you look over here, you can see all the side insulation.
Oh, I do, yeah.
That shouldn't be visible. So that is final trim.
Okay, yeah, I see the isolation area.
Yep.
And the biggest, most important thing, the air compressor, the condenser outside is out of plumb, so it's uneven. Operating in that condition reduces efficiency, violates the warranty.
It's not level.
It needs to be leveled out. It just needs to be, they need to level that, they need to do it fast, because operating like that, like I said, what happens is the way the air conditioner works is inside the condenser is the actual compressor. It's the
Yeah.
most expensive component of the whole system. It's filled with oil on the bottom, Freon on the top. If it's out of order, that little basket you see on the outside, and a lot of people don't know what that is,
Yeah.
that's an oil separator. That gets saturated really fast with the oil, and then less efficiency, and then the compressor can fail early.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, well, I'm going to report
That's the
that.
biggest thing.
I'll report that immediately to
Yeah.
the.
That's the biggest thing. Everything else is
everything else
typical.
is little cosmetic
Yeah.
stuff.
Now, the sod is among about the worst applied sod I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It can still be saved, but what they'll need to do is water it all down and roll it. Heavy roll.
What's that?
The sod,
The
Oh, no,
sod.
is that-
the grass.
Oh, the grass,
Yeah,
oh, the
Grass.
grass.
The sod.
We
application.
call it sod before it
Yeah.
becomes grass, I guess.
Oh.
Are they going to be mowing their own grass?
E-
Even if you're going to walk
Probably
out there,
hire
the bottom
somebody,
line
yeah.
is this needs to be either reapplied, redone,
Yeah.
which would be ideal with
Yeah.
good sod, or this can be soaked and rolled. That presses it down, smooths it out, and that gives you more consistent rooting and then obviously a better final grade. But while they're doing that, and this is in the report too, they need to clean up the grade, the sides of all of these pads, the rear patio, the condenser pad, and the front porch pad. Those need to have grade raised up to protect the edges. Those should not be exposed like that. 'Cause
Right.
They'll spall. And that's really
So the sod though is guaranteed for a year. So if this sod was laid yesterday. So because the hurricane took up the old sod, I guess it ripped it out.
Yeah.
So they replaced it. But I called the builder and he said it would be